So this video is mostly going to be about the changes that I would suggest for the god spells that aren't really used all that much. Those are Saradomin Strike, Flames of Zamorak, and Claws of Guthix. And I have 6 suggestions that I think would benefit the game, although in this instance I think it's kind of 4. 3 ideas are kind of the same, and that's because of the fact that it all kind of follows one main idea where the spells would do area of effect damage or AoE damage. These are god spells, so you would imagine them to do very large damage or very widespread damage. So I think area of effect spells do fit the character of the 3 god spells that are present in the game. And each faction sort of has their own unique twist to the area of effect. For instance, for Guthix, in a 3x3 area, it would decrease everybody's defense by 10%, or it would decrease by 5% stacking. The reason why 5% stacking wouldn't be as overpowered as you might think it would be is because of how common Sara brews and super restores are. I mean, both of these items do boost defense, so I think this spell would be a good counter to how common these potions are being used. Next, we have Saradomin Strike, and it would be basically the same thing as Guthix, but instead of attacking everybody in a 3x3 grid, it would attack 5 random locations in a 3x3 area. And due to this being random, it may not always hit the initial target. So if you're trying to target a single opponent, this may not work as well, but this could be a really useful tactic to use against large teams, or it could be maybe used for bossing as well. And I imagine the way this would work would kind of be Vedion's lightning attack. Next, we're getting into Zamorak, and for this area of effect spell, it would create a 3x3 grid of flames that deal random damage up to 5 every game tick for 5 game ticks. So the way I imagine this being dealt with is essentially the max hit of Flames of Zamorak is 20. So the amount of damage that would have occurred to that person would then be spread out across a couple of game ticks, or it could do a little bit more damage than what it would originally occur if it was just the regular spell that what it is today. The reason for this is because of the fact that this is an area of effect that you can leave. The flames would only stay in that one area and it wouldn't follow whoever the wielder was targeting to. So as a trade-off for being able to escape some of the damage of the spell, it could do more damage. This would have to be tested a little bit more, but I feel like in terms of programming, this would probably be the easier one, considering that the fire trap in a person's player-owned house does basically the same, although the max damage is I think 3, so this would just be the same thing but increased to 5. But if AoE spells don't appeal to most people, then I do have some single target suggestions that do work too. And to start off the single target suggestions, the first one's going to be for Guthix. And for the Guthix spell, the wielder would have a chance for a successful attack to teleport the attacker to the target. Percentage chance would have to be tested, so it's not overpowered or too underpowered. For Saradomin, the spell has a chance to deal melee damage, or every successful strike has a chance to give 1 prayer point back to the wielder. And lastly, for Zamorak, the Flames of Zamorak spell would have a chance to ignite the target that would deal constant 1s until the target casts a spell that uses a water rune or drinks a potion or teleports. Another way to work these suggestions into the game is through the charge spell. Instead of just upping the damage, it would modify the spell so that if somebody did use a charge, it could turn the single target into an AoE spell, or it can just be an AoE spell and the charge would just increase the damage like it does now. Or with the single target spells, the base max hit of the spells would just be the same, and then charge would offer these enhancements to the spells. But anyways, that's my video. If you guys were entertained, or if you thought these suggestions were beneficial to the game, I would really appreciate if you guys could share this any way possible. And if you want to see more, then you can subscribe. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.